the best thing that nature gave us is consciousness, and that's the belief that we mean something, that there's actually meaning to our life. Someone in history took a bacteria that didn't ask questions about whether the world is important or whether her life means something and so on, and there was a mutation that got into our brain and made us believe that we mean something. And since then, humans have defended themselves and went to wars, protecting our species, and we all think that we are important. That's the biggest one that really made us who we are. So it makes sense for evolution to take an entity that is contained and protect it. You're not really one even inside you. There's like tons of millions, billions of bacteria that live in your gut, and they're you as much as your brain is you. It's just that you don't really talk about them much. But if they're upset with you, you're gonna have a really, really bad day because they're gonna make you feel awful. And in many ways, we know that they also control the sense of smell that you emit and what you care about. So in many ways, there's a chance that when you met your wife, you fell in love with her, but it wasn't really you falling in love with her. It was the bacteria in your gut falling in love with bacteria in her gut and just using you as vessels to communicate because they wanted to be next to this bacteria. And you still will call this you. You say, oh, I wanted it. But it's all a bacteria telling you what to do. So in that sense, I think that many ways we take a small atom of cognition, this body, and we say, this is me. And I'm going to protect this body and care about it. But if you at some point have a horrible accident and you lose your pinky, you don't really say it's no longer me. You still say it's me. So I guess you're very flexible when it comes to what makes you you. Even plants and molecules, we have molecules that we call like that love water or that hate water or that love light or hate light, and we use words like poly, poly, which means love, philo, which means love, to name those molecules because we say they love the light or they love the water. And we attribute the meaning that we assign to life to the same molecules because they get drawn to it and repel from it. But we don't know if they actually don't really love the light and they want to be close to it or they run away. And we don't know if we ourselves aren't just big molecule that really likes oxygen and light and food, and we think that we mean something. So this is a tough one. So we definitely think that we are one entity inside our head. We live life as if we're one, ignoring the fact that we have tons of evidence that in our head there are many, many living kind of thoughts that go together and they vote and they make you who you are. We never think of ourselves as a sum of many parts. We just think that we are what we are. But we do think that we are two individuals and that you are very different than me, and we think that your thoughts are different than my thoughts. Now we have evidence that both are not true. Ants live in colonies where they all have what we think of like a collective consciousness, to the point that some ants might even sacrifice themselves for the greater good. And we don't think of humans doing that often, so we don't think of, there's too little food in Pirkei tomorrow, so 10 of us are going to just kill ourselves, so the others are going to have food. We think that we're individuals and we're going to fight for our survival. But we do have evidence, or in some cases, of people actually killing themselves for a greater good. Suicide bombers and kamikaze pilots in Japan, they actually did something, killing themselves, thinking, okay, it's going to reward me in a bigger thing. So we do have evidence for that. And the most extreme evidence we have right now from science is that you can take animals that are independent and connect their brains, and they seem to behave like they're now a third entity that's the sum of the two. So they no longer act like there's one mouse here, they want different things, and when you plug them, they just kind of push different directions. They actually immediately align themselves and start to look as if they're one character that wants the same thing. And that's a remarkable experience, to have two elements become one. 100 years from now. Okay, I'll tell you the challenging thing. I think that one of the risky / frightening things is that we're getting better and better in learning how to add stuff to the body, senses, controls, and abilities. And one of the extreme ones that people imagine is adding IQ. So right now, the kind of bell curve of IQ says that there are some extreme people with 150 IQ, like Stephen Hawking or Einstein. There are some people with very low IQ, usually they're kind of slower in thinking and they have problems. And most of us are sitting in the middle at 100 IQ or so on. And we talk to each other. But even if you meet someone with 150, you and him can talk naturally. It would be the same conversation. Maybe he's going to be smarter or faster than you, but you and Stephen Hawking can still have a conversation. But if we start thinking about adding 100, 200, 500, it's unclear if this 1000 IQ person would even want to talk to you. The same way we talk about ants. We don't really take an ant and say, let's talk about life. We assume that they're very, very different than us and there's no point talking to them. It's unclear if you've created species that are so much better than you, if they would even want to talk to us. And it wouldn't just be a different world where they exist and we exist. So 2120 could be where we are the ants of the world. We're going to think that we're very meaningful and important and we're going to still do what we do, but there's going to be a different species out there that will treat us the same way we treat monkeys right now. Put us in cages and do experiments on us and play with us. And they're going to say, oh my God, look at this person. He's so smart. He's like a 2-year-old baby in our species. The same way we talk about monkeys. We say, this is the smartest monkey out there. It does what a 2-year-old can do. And in many ways, I think that right now, for the entire life that we know, we were the crown of creation. We were the smartest species out there, but it's unclear that it's going to be forever. It might be someone just smarter than us, and they're going to be the rulers, and we're going to be just like anecdote in their life. So I'm worried in the sense that I think that historically, every time we could do something, we did it, and there has never been a case where in history we stopped and we said, like, we can do something, let's not do it. Historically, we always, if we can, we do. So in that sense, we're going to have that. I'm pretty much an optimistic as a person, so I think that we're going to find a way to reconcile that in the sense that, not just a theoretical idea, I think that we're the first species out there that actually can see the future and prepare for it. So the dinosaurs died of a climate change. A meteorite came and killed all of them, but they just sat there and saw it coming and didn't do anything. We're a smarter version of dinosaurs in that we can actually look at the future and do something to prevent it. So if we say that a meteor coming, we will do something to divert it. And in that sense, I think we're the smartest species out there because we see that in 2120 it might be a problem, but we're preparing for it right now. And I'm optimistic about that.